The president of the United States is holding hostage taxpayer money in the state of New York, all because of his own ego. Donald Trump is demanding that his name is placed on Penn Station and even Dulles Airport in exchange for unfreezing $16 billion in federal infrastructure spending. That infrastructure spending not going towards some ego project for Zoran Mamdani. It's not a campaign stunt. It is an essential rail connecting New York and New Jersey. So essential that any delays in this project could stop construction entirely. And according to some reporting, Donald Trump froze the money, then allegedly offered to release it only if his name was put on public infrastructure in New York. So here's the full timeline sequence of events. Congress approved billions of dollars for infrastructure spending. Those funds were designated for a major rail tunnel project in the state of New York. The Trump administration froze that money. Construction faces potential shutdown. And using that leverage, Trump has said that he will unfreeze the money, give it back to the project that was already approved by Congress, only if his name is put on Penn Station and Dulles Airport, or there's no money entirely. You don't get the money that Congress actually allocated towards your state. That's not how public works projects are supposed to function. You don't get to withhold taxpayer money and then sell it back to them in exchange for an ego project. That's not good leadership. That is literally extortion. No surprise, the GOP is groveling to support Donald Trump and defends his actions. Republicans immediately rushed to defend this with a familiar line. This isn't corruption. This is a negotiation. Donald Trump's a great businessman. He wants to get his name on there. What's wrong with the president putting his name on things? Look at Scott Jennings. He got laughed at on a CNN panel where he tried to make that exact argument.
My point. Here's my argument. You could not possibly trust, if you were Donald Trump, knowing everything you've been through, you could not possibly trust to posterity somebody doing you right, knowing full well they're going to do you dirty. He's got to do a deal now.
I can't believe you're actually defending this. I can't believe this is real. I honestly, I thought, I'm with you. I thought this was a joke.
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with him demanding certain things in exchange for naming it after him? You don't think that that's kind of bonkers?
I'm just telling you, if left to history and posterity, someone will always do this man dirty. He's got to take care of himself.
Is that not a reflection?
He's got to take care of himself over the American people.
His
See,
reputation and
if
legacy
left to
being
people
left
like Dan, he would never get anything.
I
to
love
the
the
people,
argument.
to the people who come after, generations like mine, if he leaves a poor reflection, if he leaves a poor legacy, that's his own doing.
Yes.
You don't. That's the thing. But you would never give a fair. Like if you were in Congress, you were in for Congress.
Don't
No,
get
this
a
is a legit
participation.
question.
No, go to a state he won and name something there.
For being president of the United
He's
States.
a two-term
Hold on a
president.
second.
He's going to get something.
Presidents leave legacies.
deserves.
Their
He's got
a nice
legacies
jet for his
determine
library.
whether or not people will want to honor them. If you're seeming to acknowledge that people will not want to honor Donald Trump when he leaves the presidency.
And that
if is
says
the
more
case,
about him.
I'm acknowledging
If that is the
reality.
case,
People
shouldn't
crap
that
on him
just
while
be
he's
left?
alive. What do you think they're going to do to
So
him when
here's
he's
the
dead?
thing.
How sad is that? That was a grown man that we just watched. Scott Jennings just completely getting on his knees saying, please, Donald Trump, put your name everywhere. Cement your legacy, please. Obviously, your record isn't good enough. People are going to hate you when you leave office because you're destroying the country. But put your name on the Penn Station so that way some people know you were a good president. It shouldn't be funny, but it is really funny. It's hilarious to see just how low they're willing to stoop for this man. But despite the hilariousness of that statement from Scott Jennings, that is what a lot of Republicans are saying. This is a negotiation tactic on the part of Trump. A negotiation implies that two legitimate sides are working towards a public goal. It requires compromise. It requires strategic thinking and cooperation. This was not leveraged to make the project better or improve the living conditions of New Yorkers who would use this rail that's essential. This isn't about efficiency or oversight or making sure that fraud isn't happening. It is about me putting my ego and my name on a project. It's literally holding infrastructure hostage. It is true that sometimes presidents get named after things, but there's a process that they go through. It's after something like a public service or Congress has approved it or legacy's been established where people want to name that after the president. Donald Trump is skipping all of that. He's not waiting for his legacy to be graded by history. He is actively demanding it. He didn't wait. He's not earning it. He is saying that during an active funding role, you're not going to get the essential funds you need unless you fulfill my ego. This is like if a firefighter refused to put out a fire on a building until he could guarantee that the building would be named after him once he puts it out. But this shouldn't be surprising. This fits into the broader pattern that we've noticed throughout both terms in Trump's presidency. Public office is turned into personal property. Every government decision is made in the effort to further his own name branding. And he uses taxpayer money as leverage for his own ego. Whether it is hotels, rallies, or even alleged train stations now, everything becomes about his own name, not about public good. Infrastructure is not supposed to flatter politicians. It is supposed to be used for the public to serve the public. This is more than just petty behavior from a man with very large insecurity issues. This is dangerous. We can't have a commander in chief, the most powerful person on the globe, that says that infrastructure shouldn't exist unless it boosts a politician's ego. They exist because millions of people rely on them to live, work, and commute safely. If a president is willing to throw all of that away over his own nameplate, that tells you everything that they see about how power should be run. It's not about responsibility. It's not about a public service. It is a bargaining chip that they want to put their name on.